Good morning, everyone. I'm Amy McMorrow Hunter of the Climate Economy Education, Inc., a 501c3 nonprofit in Carbondale for education and experimentation on lifestyles and business models that are good for the climate, economy, and humanity. You must all pretty much have that memorized by now. So it's really exciting. This is our fourth of four webinars by the Illinois Green Business Association on sustainable business. And I'm excited to share a little, I won't spoil it, but Cassie's going to announce some stuff that's going to continue on after this that we are working on. So that's really cool. And also, I just wanted to let everyone know about something that that's coming up that's also very cool. I'm working with Coach Aaron Lee over at the Dentman Center, and some local students and other organizations are all welcome to participate. We're going to be organizing a Southern Illinois Teen Summit and Maker Fair on Earth Day, April 22nd. It's going to be a whole day thing. We're going to have, an actual Maker Fair, and it's for high school students. It's mainly for, high school student groups and students like maker clubs and, any kind of clubs or students that want to participate. And we're also going to have some college students participating. Like we'll hopefully bring in the solar car and maybe the rover team, and just we're going to have the exhibits. We're going to have discussion panels of students, like student issues that are important to them, and also like demonstrations and workshops and things like that. So it's going to be really cool. We Aaron's already got the food lined up for it. it's definitely going to be happening, and I am just really excited about that. So I will keep everyone posted. Hopefully everybody can participate with that in the coming days and months. And we are going to have, tentatively, I have planned a meeting for next Thursday at 4 to get the students together, and probably anyone else who wants to participate, to start organizing that, because we really want to make it the student-led type thing. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Cassie.
All right, good morning, everybody. And Amy, thanks for your work. That's exciting to hear that that'll coincide with Earth Day in the region. So that'll sounds like a lot of fun. Well, thank you all again for being here today on a Thursday morning to talk about sustainability and business. And today, we're really going to focus on really working on getting recognized for your sustainability efforts. So we'll talk about certifications, we'll talk about the Illinois Green Business Program, and then we'll talk about what's coming next and how we can help your business really realize many of the things that we've talked about in previous sessions. So again, my name is Cassie Carroll. I am the director of the Illinois Green Business Program, along with my colleague, Anthony Santorelli, who's also here today. Thanks for being here as always. I'm a program manager at the Smart Energy Design Assistance Center, or CEDAC, at the University of Illinois, and director of all of these, the Green Business Engagement National Network, which is all of these people on this fun trolley here, which are national programs or programs across the country coming together to help green businesses thrive. So today we'll talk about why a certification program, why go through a program like this? Well, how can it help your business? We'll talk about available recognition programs for small businesses, give an overview of the Illinois Green Business Program and its processes and benefits, and then, of course, open it up for discussion. I will also continue to look in the chat for your comments and questions as we go. And Amy, if I miss something, just wave your hand again and interrupt me and we can have a discussion. So, and then I'll talk about our next sessions, which are going to focus on the Green Business Benchmark. So let's dig in. Let's talk about some recognition programs. So when we talk about a certification or a recognition program, what are we talking about? Talking about basically helping businesses achieve a particular level of performance through usually rigorous standards and vetting of those standards. And recognition or certification means that an organization has met that criteria or set of standards. Now, there's definitely programs that have one linear set of standards, and if you meet them, great, you're recognized or certified. If you're not, you're not. Some have tiers like LEED, gold, silver, platinum, those sorts of levels to let you know how advanced they are in their journey for certification. But really, it's either way, whatever way you slice it, it's a recognition for meeting that criteria or standards. And usually certifications are voluntary. Sometimes, of course, for licensure and other things, that's required to be in business or be in practice. But when the programs we're talking about are usually voluntary programs. And they focus on, there's a variety of different types of certifications, as you know. Sometimes there are organizational and operational certifications, which is really what the Illinois Green Business Program focuses on. There are product manufacturing and display, so displaying products or hosting products businesses can get certified for, and we'll talk about a certification like that today. There's building level certifications, and then of course product sourcing certification. So that's just a sample of some green certifications that we see on the market. There's also ones that certify for product content or product sourcing of natural resources, like FSC certified paper, for example. So there's a variety of different programs out there. And so I'm going to talk today a little bit about how these green business programs got started. Really, green business programs got their footing in the US EPA pollution prevention world. And really, they started because pollution prevention, of course, here's the hierarchy here you see on the screen. Of course, we want to reduce pollution. We think then about reuse, recycling, how do we treat the pollution, and the least preferable being disposal. But really, pollution prevention is providing technical assistance to businesses to help them reduce source pollution. Many of these programs really started in the late 80s, early 90s on the West Coast. So programs like King County's environmental program in Washington and the California Green Business Network. Those are kind of the originations of these certification programs, or a lot of these green business programs. And really, the programs were driven to host positive engagement around regulation. So there's a lot of regulation on the West Coast that we don't have here in Illinois, but things like reducing pollution in stormwater drains or different sorts of regulations. It was a way to positively engage businesses around those regulations instead of having it be a negative, the city is coming to check on your regulation. Well, there's an opportunity to not only meet regulation, but go beyond regulatory requirements and get recognized for those efforts. So that's kind of how these programs started. And that's really to create a positive atmosphere around environmental regulation and measures alike. So that's kind of the foundation of where those programs got started, and they blossomed from there for a lot of different states and regions. And the model, it continues to grow throughout the country. But, we always talk about credibility of certification is really important. So over the years, these programs have found, ways to say, well, my program is credible. And what are those different sorts of components that we look at for a credible certification program or green business program? One, of course, is requiring that the verification of actions. So or standards. So usually an on-site assessment or some sort of verification of that the business has done what they've said they were going to do is really important. We find a lot that businesses, may interpret a measure one way, implement and provide verification, and maybe it's not. Maybe that's there's an opportunity to grow or expand or deepen their engagement in that practice, or maybe it's just they didn't quite understand what the measure was getting at. So looking and making sure that the business has done what they said they are doing is really important, not only for the business and the credibility of their own efforts, but also for the credibility of the standard and the program too. So really, we at the Illinois Green Business Program encourage an on-site assessment because we think it's really important to meet our businesses, engage businesses. But many certification programs do that virtually as well, where they coordinate with the business to make sure that they've met the standards virtually. But on-site assessments, we always like programs that come on site and work with businesses. through that process of verification. Another credible or another aspect of what a credible certification looks like is having standards that are peer reviewed and backed by credible partners. So we have our certification standards reviewed by not only industry experts, but folks at Illinois EPA and other sorts of credible sources to say, hey, this is what's going on in the industry. This is what we're seeing in businesses. And this is also what we as Illinois really want to reduce in terms of impact. So we, certifications that have partners in some sort of standards review committee with peer review process and iterations is really important, because then that makes sure that not only are you aligned with the most relevant practices that are going on in an industry. So for example, simple example, LED lighting, but things like making sure that we're using the right metrics, making sure that we're providing the right recommendations to businesses. So it's really important for certification programs to have that sort of backing and peer review for their standards. Another credibility piece is that it's, there's a separation between support and accreditation. So for example, our program, we provide hands-on support to businesses, but our board actually does a thorough review to make sure that the business has met the criteria. So we have somebody that is separated, and sometimes for USGBC. USGBC is the accrediting body that holds the standards and all of those peer-reviewed committees. And then they have consultants that actually help provide support to the businesses. And then USGBC does the review of the certification to verify it's complete. So anyways, separating that support from accreditation is important to us and makes it credible, because you're not just saying like, okay, I've supported this business, they're doing all the things. Somebody from the outside can also see that that business has accomplished that standard or done those sorts of practices. So that makes it credible too. Transparency and accessibility, both of standards and what the business or organization has done to reach that standard, is important. Making measurable progress over time. In our program, we say that a business, once they get recertified after 3 years of being a part of our program, they have to up the ante. They have to do a little bit more. So about another between 5 and 10 measures, they have to grow their progress in our program. And then of course, continual revisions and improvements over time to align with what's going on, not only within the business sector, but in the industry and along the lines of environmental regulations too, or opportunities. So making sure that it's always the standard, or the services are always being improved. So that's what we think makes a credible certification, and what a lot of these programs have to make them credible. So I always say, it's easy to make a certification program or a recognition program, but is it credible? Does this program have those elements? So when you go out and look at different standards, investigate, see if those programs have these sorts of elements to them, because that adds credibility, and particularly this verification of actions or standards, I think, through the program. There are a lot of programs that just give a rubber stamp and say, yeah, you've submitted the form and you're certified, without checking to make sure that either the business or the product has been properly vetted. So with that being said, let's dig into some types of certification programs. So EPA Safer Choice is a type of program. They're a product certification program. So EPA actually has engineers, chemical engineers on site that review a product's elements and different sorts of chemicals in it, and make sure that it meets a criteria to say that it's using chemicals that are less harmful to the environment. So there's a product certification that they offer, and that there is also an organization recognition as a part of it as well. So if you actually supply, as say a retailer, green certified products or EPA Safer Choice products, you can get recognized too under their program. So that's kind of a neat opportunity. So EPA Safer Choice is something really interesting to look at. So the question here, and I'll just go to the chat, are there other less stringent programs in Illinois that we should be aware of? I don't know any of off the top of my head, and I think, I don't want to kind of call out programs that might not have these elements, because I think it's always important for a business to take a step in whatever direction. But I would just say, if you're looking at these types of programs, make sure that it has that rigor to it, to make sure that the standard is credible. So I don't want to call out any organizations here, but but I would just say follow those guidelines when you look at other standards across the state or across the country. Green Seal is also another type of certification program. And they have a healthy green buildings program. So, one that uses safer chemicals that don't have any sorts of harmful, qualities that harm indoor air or that are hazardous to staff. And then they also, of course, certify green cleaning products. So they have a lot along the lines of supply chain transparency and list of pricing for even fair trade goods too. So they are really just making sure that they have healthy green cleaning products. So B Corp, we all know about B Corp. B Corp is awesome. It is very rigorous though, and it does cost an organization some money to go through the process to get recognized or become a B Corp. But B Corp follows along the lines of environmental, social, and governance. So as Illinois Green Business Program just focuses really a lot on the environmental piece, this program focuses both on social and governance as well. So it's a rigorous standard, a lot of site visits usually involved. And I see you, Amy, let me finish my thought. And then there are legal requirements. So actually B Corps have to change their legal status to become an Illinois benefit corporation. And there's a process, there's good guidance on how to do that. And B Corp can provide guidance as well, but I just wanted to differentiate that B Corp is also one that is a benefit corporation in Illinois too. Amy?
Well, I just wanted to call out Orr because his company AES Solar is a B Corp. So Orr, do you want to say anything about your experiences?
Yeah, or what was your experience as a B Corp or becoming a B Corp? If you mind sharing, if not, that's fine too.
He might be busy.
Yeah, he might be busy. That's okay. We'll come back.
Is there anyone else on the call that has had experience with it? I don't think we've got too many local organizations that have done the B Corp thing. So that'll be good to get more people in that.
It's the requirements are different for every type of organization, every size of organization. It's really customized, but it is rigorous. I'll just say it's a process to get B Corp certified, but it's a really great way to have ESG throughout your entire organization. So B Corp's a great program too, and really has that credibility behind it. And they have a good community of businesses as well that not only have peer networking opportunities, but also come together around a variety of issues. There's also Fair Trade certified. So not only can you get a product certified Fair Trade, but they can also have certified goods or certify, for selling fair trade products. So you can be a fair trade certified supporting organization and be recognized for that. It's cool. They have a lot of different, what's the base price for a fair trade product. They have a lot of guidance around how to support fair trade organizations, but of course that adds more transparency and better working conditions, better price or pay for fair trade goods, and they have that guidance available too. Another program is that we hear a lot about. Sorry, Amy, go ahead.
Just real quick, we had a question in the chat. I'm not sure if you addressed it, but this is a really comprehensive program, Carol is saying, and peer review seems integral to it. Are there other less stringent programs in Illinois that we should be aware of?
And I did address it really quickly.
Oh, okay,
and I can address again, that's fine. Is that I think I really want to make sure that, what I want to emphasize is like, it's great if any business takes a step towards, a green action or a sustainable action or doing well for their environment. There are less stringent programs, and that's okay too. But really, I wanted to emphasize what are the qualities of some really good programs that we look at when we say, okay, this program has not only credible standards, but they're backed by these partners. And what does that look like? So I really do emphasize businesses to take advantages of all sorts of programs that help them integrate green practices, but just wanting to note what makes a really good quality program. And I see Straight Up Solar has been a B Corp. Yes, I love Straight Up Solar. I have a lot of colleagues that I work with over there, and they are a great example of a certified B Corporation. It'd be awesome if folks are interested in a follow-up topic of what a B Corp, what it took to be a B Corp. I'm sure we could ask some folks at Straight Up Solar to present too. So if that'd be of interest, just let me know, give me a yes in the chat, and we can follow up on that. Cool. Another couple types of course, the big heavy hitters. ISO 14001 is a standard, as well as US Green Building Council LEED. So ISO is an environmental management certification. So it's a framework to set up an environmental management system and in a continuous improvement system in your business. So, and again, it requires third-party auditor outside of ISO to come in. Our local mass transit district here in Champaign-Urbana is ISO 14001 certified. And for them, it gives them a framework to set goals and then have continuous improvement around. But it's an intense process, but it is a really great way to set up an environmental management certification. And I highly recommend, even if you don't want to get fully certified by some of these organizations, you're interested in looking, take a look at their standards, pick some different measures that you could do from these types of organizations too. So, you don't have to go all the way to certification. You can take some good ideas from these places too and integrate them into your organization. And then another, of course, LEED certification. Operations and maintenance is usually the place where we have a lot of our small businesses or businesses go through, because they may or may not have influence over the building that they're in. They may rent the space. They may not own the building. So operations and maintenance really looks at the interior. There's an interior portion of LEED that looks at the kind of just the interior operations of an organization or a business. So it's an existing buildings. It also has existing buildings, which it's most known for, or new building certification. But again, requires that third-party auditor outside, and USGBC, as I said, is the standards body and the accrediting body. And then they have a network of professionals that actually do the support and provide a coach and help. We actually make sure that the certification paperwork is filled out properly and is verified. So just want to give you an idea of some of these have significant barriers for small businesses. They're great certifications and I love them, but sometimes there are complex requirements. It can be really time intensive and resource intensive. And I just wanted to give an example. This is from LEED's current costs right now for LEED. So right now, just with the registration fee, there's a flat fee to get certified, the review of the actual certification, and then the third-party sites assessment. We don't know how much that costs. That isn't listed on their pricing sheet for USGBC. It would be by the auditor. So you're talking about, just to get LEED, O&M, interior certification, it'd be a base price of about almost $7,000 for a 3-year accreditation. So there are some barriers to these things, and which is where our program for the Illinois Green Business Program came from, because we understand it's hard for businesses to not only take the time to go through the certifications like these on their own, but then also pay these sorts of fees to get the recognition. So, our goal with our program at the Illinois Green Business Program is, we understand a lot of these sorts of certifications and what's out there, but we want to help businesses get started somewhere. We want them to start taking actions and getting, starting to reduce their operating costs through green practices. So that's why the Illinois Green Business Program really got started, is really trying to build a credible program and that small businesses can participate in without some of the hassle and some of these other programs. And the great thing is our standards too, they really can align with these other programs. So through our program, you can get a lot of support and a lot of guidance, local guidance on programs, resources, incentives that can help you do all of the things in these certifications, but at a lower cost and with more help. So really, we want to, you can certify in our program or get recognized by just a section. So if you just wanted to focus on energy, you can get an energy badge for completing that portion of our program. Or you can go the whole shebang and get certified across all of our 6 sections, which we'll touch on here in a little bit. And we try to keep the cost minimal for our businesses. So we always, because of grant support that we have and private foundation support, we are able to really lower the cost of our hands-on support for businesses. And, whereas some of these programs are really blanketed for all different industry types, we really try to hone in on what's going to be most beneficial for your sector. So if you're a restaurant, we're going to focus on aspects of your restaurant like refrigeration, your kitchens, different things along the lines of waste reduction. So we really try to hone in on sector specific opportunities as well through our program. And so it's, we call our program the first step on your sustainability journey. And the good thing is we're focused on Illinois. So we're able to really understand what's available locally that can benefit your business and also those incentives and resources. So, we also really talk about progress at your pace. So some businesses are able to go through the program and get fully certified in 4 or 5 months. That means they have like a really dedicated person that's able to work on it. We've worked with businesses for 1.5 years, 2 years to get through our sections, and that's okay. Whatever really is, we want to work with you at your pace, whatever time you have to dedicate to it, but also really focusing on the areas that are going to impact your business the most. And of course, one of the good things about our programs too is that there's opportunities for really hyper local focus of promotion. So once you get accredited or certified in our program, we do a lot of different marketing and provide businesses with their own marketing toolkit to promote their business as green. And that provides a lot of opportunities for market differentiation. And attracting customers that have a sustainability mindset. So we also have a Shop Green app as a part of the tool that we use, which I'll talk about, called Green Biz Tracker. And you can actually find businesses that are certified in your area. So that's another really great benefit to promote in the community, is to have this opportunity to be able to find local green businesses. And of course, as we grow our presence more in the Carbondale area, we'll be working with Amy and Shop Southern Illinois to amplify businesses that get certified as well. So really, we just, through our program, want businesses to do great things, reducing their environmental impact, finding those opportunities for cost savings through green practices, and recognize you for doing great work. And the cool thing is our program is part of a national movement. So there are all of these programs. So Illinois Green Business Program is just one program in one state. Well, there are over 28 programs, but in the Green Business Engagement National Network, we have a consortium of 28 green business programs covering 13 states that come together to talk about and strategize, well, what are the best ways to serve businesses? What are the best programs and things that we can offer our businesses to help them find these operational savings opportunities? So we're working with Amy right now to think about, can we offer prebates to businesses that want to do energy efficiency work? Or can we offer a revolving loan fund so that businesses, as they find these green opportunities that save them money, they can get some support to do these things? So that came out of conversations from programs in Colorado and California that are doing this successfully. So it's a really great opportunity for us to be a part of this national movement, to learn about how we can best serve your business, and then also uncover what opportunities there may be. And the cool thing is if working with the Illinois Green Business Program, you're a part of this national movement. And really, in 9 states alone, over 2021, collectively, green businesses saved over $114 million of pounds of greenhouse gas, 218 million kilowatt hours of electricity. So small businesses can save a lot. When we come together under these sorts of programs, the impact can be huge. So you're part of these, as part of the Illinois Green Business Program, you're part of this collective of green business programs doing this work, and you're contributing to reducing our environmental impact nationally. And US EPA funds some of our work here in Illinois to do this sort of thing. So really, you're being recognized and seen by EPA as leading in these different, leading in resource reduction and carbon reduction and creating healthier, cleaner environments. So it's really cool. Your impact as a small business can be amplified so much, and you're really making a huge dent collectively across the nation, and EPA is really excited about it. What is included in fuel saved? So it could be things like doing alternate transportation. It could be things like fuel switching. And it's a little bit low. We're going right now through a metrics development project with all of these 9 states. Actually, our program's leading that development. And we hope to capture more fuel saved at our measures in the future. So this will grow over time. We're just not capturing all of the metrics right now when people switch to alternative transportation and those sorts of things. So really, we're talking about vehicles, fleet, that sort of piece when we're talking about fuel saved. Gallons of gasoline.
Yeah, I thought you might be talking about natural gas saved and things like that too. Or
Yeah, that's under therm saved primarily,
Okay.
is where natural gas comes in. Cool. So let's dig into a little bit more about our program. So you've seen this slide before if you've come to our sessions, but we're founded in 2008, and we've worked with to certify over about 120 businesses across the state of Illinois, but we've worked with over 4,000 businesses on things like pre-rinse spray valves or faucet aerators to help them do incremental things to continue to drive sustainability in our state and reduce operational costs. And our program is a partnership with Smart Energy Design Assistance Center and the Illinois Green Business Association. And so a certified business to us is one that saves money by wasting less, creates cleaner, healthier places to live and work, engages not only their employees in green practices, but also their community, and is on a continual journey of improvement. So, for example, and I talked about this before, but Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits really did a printing management project where they just made sure that all their copiers printed double-sided, and that the person who sent that print job to the copier had to go to the copier and actually print in a code before the document was printed, because they were finding people were printing stuff and just leaving it at the copier. So by doing those things, they reduced their printing costs by 30%. They also did a commingled where they had centralized garbage and recycling stations, and they were able to actually increase their diversion rate of recycled materials by about 20%. So these are things that businesses not only do, and we've talked about this in previous, but really simple things that businesses can do to save money just by wasting less. So that's what really, and always on a journey of continuous improvement, that's what we really see as green businesses. And what is a green business program? So we, our green business programs provide a team of sustainability specialists that helps businesses achieve that higher environmental performance and efficiency. So we really try to make it easier by bringing those local resources like Larry at, with Leidos and Ameren, Illinois to you to connect to resources and funding for energy efficiency, connecting to recyclers and potential composters if you're interested. So we're really out there trying to be a connector to our businesses of all of these different resources. And our green business program, really, it helps create a merit-based community of proven green business leaders and that get recognized for those practices and that are really doing a lot of significant things to reduce our environmental impact locally. Also, our program, we help businesses reach goals and provide a green marketplace for consumers. So we really help businesses by providing an actionable framework, technical assistance to help you identify those cost-saving opportunities, We demonstrate your social responsibility through marketing and providing a marketing toolkit to enhance your brand with positive PR. And we make progress towards certification on your timeline. So we really just try to help you throughout the entire process figure out how to incorporate these different actions. So one of the things we do have funding right now. If you are interested, or a business that's interested in going through the program, to participate at no cost and get all of these benefits for free for your company. So you get the benefit of cost savings. And so why participate in the program? That third-party verification of your initiatives. It's a streamlined way for identifying ways to reduce environmental impact and costs, a hub for local and small business regional assistance, incenting and funding opportunities, and of course, that recognition. And really, we just want to, all of this will help your business. Really, many of these things will help your business recover from the impacts of the pandemic. So, if you have challenges reaching your utility bill, we can help you figure out how to reduce that challenge. If you want to attract more customers because you've had reduced revenue, let's find ways to market your business as a more sustainable business and get you some more customer flow. So these are some strategies that also can help your business recover. And then, of course, in the end, increase resiliency because you're wasting less, you're using less, which has less burden on your operational budgets and can help you weather financial storms further. So really, we talk a lot about the environmental case, but there are tons of different benefits and from the business case as well. All right, so I think I've talked enough about the benefits. Let's talk about what this certification program actually is. So what does it mean to get certified under the Illinois Green Business Program? Really, the first step is to assess your performance. So we work with your business to review green business best practices along 6 categories. And these are the categories right here. So energy, pollution, solid waste, transportation, water. And we even have a community section, which includes your employees. So how do you engage your employees in sustainability? And then how do you give back to the community and help sustain the community, and either through time or, if able, resources. So after that review of all these different practices, and again, we can just focus on one section with your business. We don't have to do all of this at once. We give you credit for your existing sustainability efforts and then create an action plan with you to help you achieve certification, either just in one category or all of these different categories of sustainability. Then, once we've assessed your performance, then we implement an action plan with you. So we have core measures that are things along the line. That's why I emphasize baselining. Baselining is one of our core measures. Easy things that every business should do to be sustainable. Those are the core measures. And then you have to complete 50% of elective measures that apply to your business. So it is points-based as well. So 50% and meeting our points threshold. And then once you've completed those things, either in a section or across all of these different categories, we help you set up tracking. How do you track your environmental impact and help recognize you along the way? So if you're going through the whole certification, say you complete the energy section, we'll give you an energy badge and do some marketing and promotion, not only in the local community, but the greater Illinois Green Business Program network. And as you go, you can get recognition towards full certification in our program. Once you have, and at each point, as you complete measures, we have you upload verification documents. We come out and do a site visit and verify that you've implemented these practices. And then we confirm your completion of your certification requirements with our board of directors. And then you receive a green marketing toolkit, and we promote the heck out of your business as being a green business. So how do we do all this? We do it through a tool called Green Biz Tracker. And this tool is used by 9 states and I'd say about 13 programs throughout the country to help manage your green business program. So it's an interface that allows you to track your progress on your certification and check, yes, I'd like to do this measure, I'm doing it. No, I'm not going to do this measure, or this measure doesn't apply to me. So it's a really great way to accelerate your certification. It also provides green tips and resources along the way. And the cool thing about this is it tracks where you're at in the certification process, and it tracks your impact. By saying yes to different measures, there are metrics associated on the back end that calculate your impact by doing that measure in our program. So here's a little bit, here's a sample of lighting and equipment under energy efficiency. Basically things like insulating hot water pipes or cleaning skylights if you have them. So there are things, these are some of our core measures. And you can see at these different points, you can add a note to talk a little bit with us about how you did that measure. You can upload verification here too. And there's different sorts of, so under energy, for example, there's two different categories. We have an awareness and maintenance category and a lighting and equipment category. So we break out measures along different categories under each sector or portion of our checklist. And here's a close-up look of a measure. So this measure is one of our core measures, so it has no points associated with it. And right here, and I see you, Amy, but right here you can see, you can enter how many printers have standby modes and monitors. Well, that'll calculate your energy reduced on the back end. And at the end of certification, you get a report card with how much resources you've saved by taking specific actions in our program. And you can see here too, there's a green tip as well to help you identify where an energy saving button may be. Amy, you had a question.
Okay, thanks, Cassie. I think I may have asked you this before, but can this tool be used for residences? Like if I wanted to do this with at my home with my kids, you know, get them on there and doing stuff?
We only focus on businesses right now in our program, but that isn't to say that we couldn't expand it to residents in the future. The tool has the capabilities to do that. We just focus on businesses primarily. So kind of brings up something fun too when you're talking about home businesses. We're launching a home business checklist. So a business would have to go through our standard office retail checklist, and then a home certification checklist with a few measures as well. So we're trying to account for all of those people that are working from home like me.
That's awesome. Great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no problem. All right. So moving forward here, you can see we track certification requirements. So in this section, this business has done 16 measures completed, and a minimum of 43 are required for certification. And you can see how many points you've accumulated over the tiers. And we have point thresholds for all of our different certification requirements. So and also this is a really neat part of our tool that talks about, you can kind of see a summary on where you're at with different sections of our checklist. And you can see here that, you know, you've completed 2 out of 6 core measures, and you're not quite at our points, say right here for awareness and maintenance, but you're along the way. Down here, you can see solid waste. This business has completed all of the core measures and completed all of their points. So it's a really great way to track progress in the certification too. So this is an innovative tool. We lived and died by Excel spreadsheets in the past, but now we have an interactive tool that businesses can use, and we can help you use to start the certification process. So we've talked about why get certified. I think the only different thing on here too is just really making sure that not only are you finding ways to save money, but you're contributing to that thriving green economy in Carbondale as well. So if you don't want to go through the whole certification program, and again, we have funding to provide it at no cost to businesses, but you can also just do a baseline and check in and see where your business is at. So just focusing on our core measures in our checklist, but it's really getting to know the environmental performance of your business. So we'll work with you to do a carbon footprint of your business, but then we'll dig in with you and see where you have opportunities to really specific opportunities, low to no cost ways to reduce your environmental impact. So through this business baseline, you'll receive a simplified climate impact report, an analysis of your energy and water consumption trends, and those customized recommendations and resources for your business. So basically, it's helping collect data from your resource use, and then answering some questions with us, and we'll get you that sort of climate impact report and some ways that you can get started on your journey. And this is also available too at no cost. So if you're interested in doing this for your business, we're ready and excited to help you out. So that's a little bit about our program. One of the things that I just want to say too is, again, we want to meet you where you're at. If you just want to work on a lighting project right now, you don't have to go through all of our program steps. We are here to help. So the Illinois Green Business Program not only serves to be a credible certification program and recognition program for businesses, but we also just want to help you connect to the good things that are out there right now to help businesses save energy, money, reduce waste. So if you have a question or just want to chat about strategies, we're here to do that too. So thank you so much for not only attending our session, but also, learning a little bit more about our program. And I'll open it up for some questions now, and then we'll talk towards the end of our session here just about what's next. And I see, Dale, you have a question. Churches can go through this process. Yes, and yes. You would qualify under our office and retail portion. And we would look to see if there's any unique things that are in your church that we could help you with too. So you can get credit for things that aren't on our checklist that may be unique to churches too.
Yeah, well, we've gone through the Faith in Place and the International Power and Electric certification process, and I don't know why they consider churches as businesses, because it caused us to pay more for. I see Larry's on here. Oh, it costs us more to pay for utilities as a result, because we're considered a business. So anyhow,
First of all, let me say
Good
I'm
to know.
not an Ameren employee, so.
I know that, Larry. I didn't want to imply that, but I know you do work with Ameren. So, but
Yeah.
for another company, yeah.
Unfortunately, if you're anything other than a residence is going to be considered a business account. The only crossover we have are like farms, where sometimes you can combine the farm facility and all of its equipment in a residential account. But yeah, churches and other nonprofits, unfortunately, are considered businesses.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, you can still participate in our program, and we will definitely promote you as a nonprofit, not just a business. But the churches do have business aspects to them, so we will definitely work with churches. I see, or yes, you're B Corp. We were trying to call you out earlier to talk a little bit about it, but yes, so you do have to update that every year. For our program, we do a yearly check-in. And we just send you, we just try to either come out or we send you a survey to check on a select number of practices yearly to see if you're still maintaining your certification. But our certification lasts 3 years because there are so many measures and so many different pieces of our certification. We really find it cumbersome for businesses to recertify every year. So really it's a 3-year certification with yearly check-ins. And or if you're able, what was it? Could you provide any commentary on what it was like to be a B Corp or get B Corp certified?
Well, there's a lot of paperwork, and it's very detailed, because I mean, I like, it looks into what kind of employees do you hire. It doesn't just look into your environmental progress. It looks into your, equity, and are you trying to hire people that are underserved? And my thing I like the most is you can do an annual review to see what could be better. That it's not just a one time you filled all this paperwork out and now you're certified forever. There's an annual review, and if you drop too many points in one category, you can lose your certification.
Yep. Yeah, and we have had to take some businesses off our website for not maintaining their certification. So I get it. There needs to be those check-ins to make sure that businesses are still meeting the standards. So that's great. That's great to hear. And the reason we break up our certification and give recognition at different and badges for completing different sections, we have over 200 measures in our base checklist. So there's a lot of options for businesses to go to take action on the environment. And
Yeah,
really
you
want
would
to
think
make.
a solar install company would just be a shoe-in, but there's all these other categories too.
Mhm.
Like, if you're in a predominantly white area like we are, what kind of program do you have to hire underserved people?
Mhm. Yeah, and we are looking to add some of those things to our program, but we are environmentally focused. So that's great that B Corp has those measures. And, if business is interested, we can look at those B Corp measures too and see what they could implement.
Cassie, I'd like to get with you because, are bringing up the thing about underserved communities.
Mhm.
One of our emphasis areas this year, and I see Linda Meglia-Andrus is on here, one of my associates. She's a energy advisor in Territory 6. All the energy advisors have been tasked for what we call our market development initiative, MDI, and it is specifically for serving underserved communities, minority businesses, LGBTQ, Hispanic, all that sort of thing. And so what I would like to do is talk with you and then maybe get John Bentema tied in and Thomas Drea, he runs our MDI initiative, and see if there's something that we can do jointly with the Green Business Association to help support some of those businesses.
That'd be great. That'd be really great. We're focusing more on recruiting businesses in underserved areas or that are women or minority owned as well. So that would be great to collaborate on. We use EJ Screen as our tool to help identify business areas or areas where businesses may be impacted by the environment or different demographic indices. That's a great tool that's already available right now to use, but we'd love to talk further about that.
And we also,
oops, sorry, go ahead, Larry.
I was going to say, we also have, apart from the program, the customers that Linda and I serve, we have the small business energy advisors that specifically work with smaller businesses. And so I may have Rick Bischoff, who is the manager of that group of energy advisors, get with you to talk about, maybe there's a way that you could do a tie-in with that part of our program as well.
That'd be great. That'd be great. We refer so many different businesses to the programs you offer. So that would be a great opportunity to have that conversation and see how we can deepen our work. Yeah, go ahead, Amy. Sorry.
So I'll just throw in, Larry and I have worked together in the past to try to get internship programs going with students. And I am actually working with universities now to develop internship classes. So they'll spend the whole semester, we'll screen them, we'll train them, and, we can train them to do these baselining, things, and we can have them do the certification, some aspects of it, help the businesses. So, and also, like I was with Orr, with his Coal to Soul thing, to put solar panels up on nonprofits, we can train them to help with that too. So we've got a huge opportunity to work, to bring students in on this stuff too. So
definitely.
And Amy, part of our MDI is internships. And I think possibly if we could work it where we could get some minority interns, there might be a nice, confluence of what you're trying to do with the internships versus what we're doing with the MDI. So we'll keep that in mind as well.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, we've definitely worked with students to help help businesses through our certification programs. We've had partnerships, of course, with the University of Illinois, but ISU, Illinois Wesleyan. Excited to see how we could work with SIU students as well, and Eastern Illinois students. So we worked with a lot of different universities and entities to provide training opportunities and directly with businesses. So yeah, now with our online framework, I think that'll be a lot easier. But I think helping businesses and being on the ground and helping businesses collect some of this data for their green business footprint or their green business baseline or the certification would be awesome. Let's get an army of sustainability trained students.
Yes, exactly. Climate core.
Yep. I love it. Well, great. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Please either pop a message in the chat, or I will follow up with folks individually if you'd like to take advantage of either the Green Business Baseline or get certified through the program. I'd love to work with you to see how we could help you reduce your specific organization's impact and connect you to all these great incentives. So please, like I said, I'll follow up or shoot me a message in the chat or a private message, and I'm happy to connect with you and follow up afterwards. So moving forward, there's a couple different ideas that we have to continue this work, because I've had a lot of fun really presenting and talking with you all about sustainability topics. And then there's kind of two different tracks that we were thinking about as how do we continue this forward. So one track, I think we could have maybe monthly sessions on different topics to maintain our conversations around business sustainability. It could be things like, the B Corp presentation, which there was some interest on, or we could dig into solar a little bit more and maybe ask Orla to talk to us a little bit about things that's going on in the solar industry for our region. But just wanted to see something monthly, maybe recurring, would be of interest. Or if we have enough businesses that are interested, we can also do the Green Business Baseline together. So we could go have bi-weekly meetings and actually help you live find your business benchmark through all of these different categories like energy, waste, et cetera. And it would be kind of a workshop format opportunity to dig in deeper and create that green business benchmark together. So creating a business cohort of businesses that work together to find opportunities to go green and talk to each other about challenges or successes. That could be another option too, or we could do both. So wanted to just open that up to see what your thoughts were and what your reactions are to those two different ideas that we had to continue our work. What do you like? And I can follow up with a survey too, but just looking for some feedback.
I think that's a good idea, and if it's an entity that continues to have life over a long period of time, I think over time we could tend to get more people involved. They may not have been able to participate, in this month's activity, but if it's a long-term thing. And then there's also the chance to, co-market, like, we have the Southern Illinois APEC group that meets, that their meetings, whether they're virtual or live, the second, Friday of every month. There's no reason why people that aren't in this group can't also, participate in that, and vice versa.
Awesome.
Anyone else? Any thoughts? You're so quiet.
And that's okay. I'll follow up
Tell me what
with
to
folks
do.
too.
Sonia, you jumping on, or? You look like you might be jumping on. You are muted.
This is Sonia's first time on a Zoom meeting.
Everything was moving so slow. I had the mute button buried. I'm definitely planning to get a hold of you outside of this as well, and just want to express interest in a lot of the ways that the metrics and the assessments in those sustainable development goals are in line 100% with a lot of cooperative development, and it makes it an easy partnership nearly to recommend that these kinds of services are available. So it's exciting to look at City of Carbondale also developing a plan, and then for this also to be developing right alongside with it. It's really synchronous, so I'm excited. I'm
Very
excited.
cool. That's great to hear. Thank you, Sonia.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are also collaborating to apply for some funds to continue this work and deepen it in Carbondale. So hopefully we'll be able to get some funds specifically to grow these initiatives in Carbondale too. Cool. Well, or
And I can be much more involved if it was at a different time. I'm actually simultaneously at a meeting. We meet every week trying to get co-ops to do solar, because right now, most cities and well, they're not utilities, but co-ops are rescinding their solar policy. So we've got the downstate solar caucus we're working on, making sure that doesn't happen, because it actually helps co-ops to have solar homes, and they're just not educated about it. So, not a big deal.
awesome.
So, or what's a better day or time for you?
1 hour before or after.
Yeah, probably
1 hour
anytime.
before or after, okay.
Just happens to be the same thing.
Cool.
Oh, that's right. That is the Muni Co-op meeting. I know. I scheduled this and I didn't notice that because I'm on that, on that meeting too. And they're doing so much great work. They had an incredible webinar to talk about all that was going on with cooperatives and municipalities. So,
Great. Well, I will follow up then with a survey for times of day that work better and days of the week that work better to meet. And then I will solicit topics from you all about what you'd like to talk about, and then put together some language about the kind of cohort and ask interest there too. So look for a survey from me coming out soon to develop our future programming.
And I just want to take the opportunity on behalf of myself, my organization, and all our attendees here to thank Cassie for sharing your energy and expertise with us. I mean, this is the future, and it's gonna be such a huge benefit for our region, and to have access to all the resources that you have at your fingertips. So thank you so much for doing this with us and for moving forward with us on all this stuff. It's gonna be great.
And thank you, Amy, for continually engaging with us and exploring these opportunities with us. Without you and in your collaborative spirit, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you so much for making this connection and bringing us into the fold of the great work that Carbondale is doing to be more sustainable. So thank you as well.
Certainly my pleasure.
Wonderful. Thanks everybody for attending, and more to come. We'll be in touch soon.
Yeah,
Take
this
care.
is the end of the era for this webinar, but we'll be back. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.